Hello everyone. Oh, I am so red. Oh goodness. So we went to the park today. It was a play group for the boys. So it was a really fun day. We've been trying to get a play day at the park going. But here in Olympia, Washington, it is very rainy and people get very intimidated by the weather. Some of the time, and this is our first spring here, so we're getting used to it. And we had tried to do park day last week, but it didn't go. There was a little miscommunication. It didn't go over well, plus it was storming off and on all day long, so it was very confusing. So this time we went and it worked out and we got to play for hours, and I of course got a sunburn of all things in early mid-spring. So there you go. I get sunburns in winter and I get it in spring when normally people don't have to worry about sunburns, right? So anyways, okay, I have a little bit of an edging video here, and I actually am going to talk a bit of the structure of the Sacred World Oracle today, and I want to show you all how my Witchery Oracle turned out after I edged it. I did edging with, oh, let me see if I can grab them. I don't know if I have both colors here. Let me just check. Yes, okay. So with my, let me show you the box for the Sacred World Oracle. This is the Sacred World Oracle box. It is a oracle created by Chris Waldhere. She is the same lovely lady who created the Goddess Tarot, and I actually have the mini of that tarot somewhere, but its pips are not very scenic, and so I haven't read it for years. So I was so thrilled when she came out with an oracle, because I had always thought her illustrations and artwork was absolutely gorgeous. And oh, I am so reddish pink. Ugh. I have to make sure I bring sunscreen or an umbrella the next time I go to the park. Anyways, so the original size of this deck is pretty good. And I'm sure the measurements here somewhere. I'm going to have to start like getting a ruler so I can give measurement size on some of these decks that are a little bit not conforming to standard sizes. But so I have kind of small hands, and this is not a huge deck, but for me, it's just the right height and length. Like I can grab it, but imagine that as a full deck. Okay, so I really hate white borders, and that was the only thing I wanted to get rid of. Everything else about this deck I just love. I'm not really fond of the element system, but as an organized animal deck, it's really cool. And I really love the tones and richness that she has in her artwork. So, and it has that as above, so below, going two different directions, but the very center has earth, air, fire, water. And instead of suits, they're called quarters, I believe, or quadrants. I can't remember. Let me take a little peeky here. Quadrant. Yeah, so here's an example of a page. It says the cards quadrant of earth right at the top here, and this deck has Roman numerals, and it has the Roman numerals all the way up to 44, and there are 44 cards in the deck. So it's separated into 11 cards each, and it doesn't go like 1 through 11 per quadrant. It actually goes 1 through 11, then 12 to 22, I guess, and then so on and up, just all the way up to 44 in Roman numerals. Okay, so yeah, I have actually, I don't think I have it completely in order. I just got them in their color order. So it shows like numbers, the X, L, I Roman numerals. I'd never seen the L thing before this. I know I learned some Roman numerals when I was younger, but they never gone so high for me. So I've actually been using this oracle as a way to teach the Roman numerals to my sons so they could see it in action, because there's like actually not a lot of papers or books or anything that has that high of Roman numerals. Roman numerals sometimes are used for chapter titles and other things like that. And then if you're studying anthropology or archaeology of human, like history of humans in a physical form, it's, you sometimes see them in that, but my kids are like elementary age, and we don't, most people don't study much of that at this age. So let me get back to the form. So I ended up trimming, and as you can see, it is easier for me to grab. I have a much better ability to grab this deck now. I got rid of the white and I edged it with a gold Sharpie because I felt it really matched the tones in the cream slash goldish color of the fronts by the borders of the fronts really well. It also meshed well somewhat with the back gold tones that's mixed in with this awesome burgundy tone effect that they have on the back of the cards. Is that burgundy? I don't know. It's a reddish brown. I don't know, nice deep reddish color. Okay. And one interesting thing is that, okay, mostly it's all animal cards, okay? And some of them are like gods and goddesses in animal forms or with animal heads. And most of them are full animal forms. And then in one of the suits or a couple of the suits, they have, matter of fact, the fire suit is predominantly, although there are a few regular animals or common animals, they're mostly mythical or fantastical beasts. So that's kind of cool with the fires quadrant. And to me, because I tend to work with land, sea, and sky, it's very easy for me to just, say water, sea, sky is air, and land is the green cards. And then fire is the blender of the realms. And that is kind of mimicked in the symbols that are used for the edging of the border on the cards. Not the edging, but the border of the cards on the fronts. Okay, so that's really cool that way. And the other thing is they're color coordinated, and you can see like total walkthroughs on this deck. But I just wanted to point out a couple of things. They're color coordinated, so green for earth, blue for water, this kind of magenta for air. It's like a purpley color, and then you have like a burgundy red for fire. So it's really cool, and it's really beautiful illustrated tones. I really like the depth. Her artwork really pulls you into the deep areas or further deep into the picture, like you could kind of sink into all the layers and effects she does with her artwork. I really love how she does water, and there's a few cards in the air quadrant cards that I really love too, that I feel like I'm really either pulling really deep into the cards or moving forward out into the more outward side, to the more present larger animals in the forefront. So it's really cool how she does her illustrations. So again, I just wanted to show you, I trimmed first, I got all the white off, and then I went back with my Sharpie, and I used gold. It's metallic gold to edge, and I just think it looks so cool now. I really like it. I didn't like the look of the white. I just feel it gives it a more authentic or just like really cool look to the deck. And it looks really nice spread. And yeah, I just love it. And the size is great. Okay, so if you want to see a walkthrough on this deck, I'd be happy to do one, but there are a few already out there. The only difference is they are not trimmed like mine. So again, I'll do this really quick. Okay, so you have water. This is what would be like the element card or the starter, the first or 11th card. This is number 1 of the quarters. Okay, so they have a proper water card, and it's also kind of like a suit deck with an element card. Air, with clouds and a stormy sky. Earth, to me that would be sea, sky, and land. Okay, really awesome details. And the one thing I'll show in just a moment, and then fire, the blender of the realms. To me, the quadrant of the fantasy beasts or mythical beasts. Now, one cool thing on the borders is on 2 of the quarters, they have the sun and the moon. In the sky or air quadrant, quarter, whatever you want to call it, on the top 2 corners, you have the sun in the air or sky suit or quadrant, however you want to say it. And then in the top 2 corners of water or sea, they have crescent moons, and for the water it has crashing waves on the top, and then a little bit in the on the bottom. It's part of the keyhole If you don't look at anything else aside from the main picture and then this keyhole and what's written down here, in the keyhole, I call it keyholes, they let you know what suit it is. This has crashing waves for water. This has clouds in the sky for air or sky. And earth has green, rich green, deep vines and leaves in the keyhole. Earth or land for me. And then fire has thick ribbing type fire flaming in the keyhole. And I think it's a mirrored image because there's a bit of a dark look to the center of it, and it looks like this side and this side is a mirror image of one picture. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. And the really cool about the elemental cards is that they have a few different ones. Like this one has about 3 animals. There's like the Shimera here, which is a lion head and a goat headed beast. The dragon comes across here, and then at the top you have the phoenix. And then the earth has something similar. The background mountains, and one of the bush or tree lanes has some animals mixed in there. Far better able to see it with the cards present in front of you than on my HD camera. And then the sky one has clouds with 1, 2, possibly 3 animals, but 2 for sure towards the top in the clouds. And then water has seal in the front, and I think fish. You have to look past the water design, but there's fish in the background there. But the seals are towards the forefront with the seaweed growing from the bottom of the ocean. Really beautiful cards. Okay, so that's the suits. And they're really cool. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of them because I want to show you my other one. But I really feel that it looks so much better. Matter of fact, I'll just show you a couple that I really, really like. Here's the carp of the water suit. And it's really pretty. I know there's dragonflies in the upper layer, but again, this is that kind of drawing she does where there's levels. There's just above the water, there's these dragonflies flittering about. And then when you look deeper in, you see the fish under the swirling clear top water. And then you also have the trees and the leaves possibly falling into the water, causing ripples. And I just love this depth of layering into the cards. It just draws you so in. I love it. And then just kind of a different art style in some of them. Like this one has a totally different art style when it comes to the sky and the background there, and some other pieces within it. It's not like the others. I mean, the crab itself is very similar, but the sky and how she dealt with the texturing and stuff in the background was very different than the others. And then there's, let's skip over 2. Here's another art style that's different than the others. This is, she's training a raven in a Native American totem, kind of carved artwork look. Very different sky than the rest of the other forms in this air card. And then one of my favorite animals in this deck is the bat. This is one of those ones that draws you deeper in. Like in the back, very back, there's a castle and it's dark, and then there's different sized bats bringing you forward back to the front of or from the back all the way up to the front of the picture, or vice versa. So all the way to the back, all the way to the front. So I really love that effect. And depending on what I'm reading for a person, I really do either see it one way or another when I'm looking at that card. It changes up quite a bit. And I just love how it looks without the white border. So to give you kind of a feel for what it was like, so I'm going to overlay one of the cards with the white border around it. So look at that. That is so different, right? Okay, sorry, I'm trying to make it really line up as well as I can. Slide so much, okay? So that really feels different, doesn't it? So now I take the white border away, and it's so nice. I just love that. You have kind of the same effect when you look at like the trimmed, uh-oh, have some bleeding edging going on here on one of the cards. Okay, I have to clean that up when I can. It's odd, I didn't notice it the other night. Okay, so yeah, really cool. I love the look of the cards now. I'm going to clean that one up when I get a chance. Okay. So, okay, that's enough for this deck. I love it, love it, love it, love it. This is one of my go-to decks. My most go-to deck is my Druid Animal Oracle, but I really love this one. It's a close second. My Druid Animal Oracle is more often picked by all ages and all ages and all sexes. So men, women, children, old people, everybody. But I find that sometimes this Sacred World is often picked by women. Men occasionally. Animals seem to be more neutral in tones. I don't know if it's the borders and the backgrounds and stuff that is doing that or what. The deck looks really lovely spread. And look, it looks like I have a card that's smeared, so I'm going to go through and see if I can clean that up because it has enough gloss on this sealant on it that I should be able to get it off even though it's pretty dry. I hadn't seen that one before. It's really weird. Okay, so again, that was the Sacred World Oracle. Again, if you want to see a full flip through or walk through, there are some already out there. I just wanted to show it to you, trimmed with a few examples of the look of it, the different quadrants or suits. Really like this one. Okay. So, and then I also trimmed with my edged Sharpie. Has that kind of cool chiseled tip. I did the black, and I actually have some cards left. I did all of the main deck in black, and then I left the ones that were the information cards in white, so you can get a really cool, clear idea of how it looked before and after. So there's the white, and now the black. Okay, I think it looks so awesome. Now, one of the reasons I love edging in general, because it just helps add tones to a deck. But another reason why I did it was because, I don't know, I mean, the cardstock feels, it's good. It's a little bendy, not too much, but it flakes a lot by the edge. And the style of the photography / collaging that she's done on it, it wasn't a problem, but it was kind of flaking on the edges. And so I thought, you know what, I really want to seal this up. And I find that the ink seals the edging up really nicely because it's raw paper. When they don't do, when they don't do, like, say, the sparkling edges or whatever, it's just raw paper. And it was flaking just a little bit. And so when I did this, it's already improved the look of it a lot. Even, I do get a little bit of bleed through on the edges when I do the black. So when it has mostly black in the background, you can kind of tell on, let me see, there's one in particular. Like those that have the really bright white color in it, you can see just a little bit some of the black on the top in the corner. But I don't mind that because it's almost like I'm adding like a slight border or slight definition of space. And it really does look better overall seeing the black when you fan it out rather than a white. So I like it. And like I said, I don't really mind too much bleed. It's only very close to the edge. I was very good at not going too far on the edges. And you can only really see it on, oh, here's the other card I wanted to show. On the letters, you can see it a bit on the side that's very bright. And that's what has held me back on a few different decks of not edging them because some of them have very white areas that if it bled through, it would definitely like kind of give it kind of a messy look. On this one I don't mind because it's built to have kind of a shadowy, edgy kind of look to it, so I think it lends to it not being perfect. And it is just very earthy and edgy into itself. So this was my Witchery Oracle edged in Black Sharpie, and again the Sacred World Oracle that I did previously with my gold. And I'm going to have to go back and see if I can clean up one of the cards that got a little bit too much smearing. But other than that, it looks pretty good, I think. So thank you for taking a peek at my edging of my two Oracle decks, or my Yeah, and I hope you all have a really great spring day. And please watch out for getting sunburns. All right, peace out. Thanks for watching. Bye.